Hey guys, I'm top music attorney Miss Crystal, and you've been asking how to post cover songs legally on YouTube. Now, for 2022, there have been some changes, and the nice thing is that this is actually going to make all our lives a little bit easier. So, we're going to go through all of it in today's video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on those bell notifications because we're releasing videos all the time helping you with your music business, music career, record labels, and of course, we're also reacting to what's going on in the music industry so you can learn from other people's mistakes. Before we get into it, don't forget to check out How to Keep Your Dukes Up in the Music Business, which is your A to Z guide on how to have a successful music career, whether you're an artist, a music producer, or just a music entrepreneur trying to make it in this business. I'm combining my experience being an artist myself since I was 4 years old and now a music attorney today. And as part of the book, you get free contract templates so that you can stay legally protected. Now, I am a music attorney today, but I've been in the entertainment business since I was about 4 years old. And as an artist today, I'm putting out cover songs all the time because it's a great way to market yourself. I'll be sure to link a playlist of the cover songs that I've done in the description as well as at the end of the video. But I get it. There's a reason why it is smart to do cover songs, whether you are a band or a solo act. In fact, one of my videos, I think, got, recently a couple 100,000 plays on it. And so, again, it's driving traffic to the original music. So then your question is, well, we want to do cover songs, but we've heard there's some problems that can happen because you're covering other people's copyrighted content. So how do we avoid all of that? The sweet and simple of it is that you get what's called a mechanical license, and you can get a mechanical license through Easy Song Licensing or Harry Fox Agency, as well as, and this is my personal favorite, a lot of music distributors will help you with this process as well. So one of the distributors that I will sometimes release music through is DistroKid. And DistroKid will ask, are you doing a cover song? Yes. Would you like us to take care of the mechanical license? Yes. And then they'll charge you based on having that song distributed and how many years you have it in rotation. So just meaning you're going to pay the fee, and it might be something as simple as $5 a month for as long as you have that song out. So the way the mechanical license works is it's going to give you an automatic license to now recreate the song. And I want to make sure I'm clear on this, guys, because I have a lot of, clients who contact my law firm and they get confused about this. And they'll say, I'm doing a new vocal line over the instrumental of someone else's song. That's not a cover. That's called sampling. Now, I've done a whole video on sampling. If you do want to use someone else's, a piece of their song or their instrumental, I go through that process, and I'll be sure to link that down in the description. What we're talking about, though, is when you recreate the song from scratch and you do your own interpretation of it. So you're supposed to do the song in its original state. Try not to change up too much, right? We want to make sure we're keeping the lyrics the same. We want to make sure we're keeping the integrity of the song as far as, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, that kind of thing. But other than that, go for it. You get to do whatever you want with your version. Now, once you get the mechanical license covers the audio only. So that means when you distribute through your distributor and you get it on Spotify and iTunes and all the other platforms, your mechanical license covers that audio distribution. The wrinkle here is that the mechanical license does not cover video. So if you're doing an audio visual, so like a music video, or maybe you're in the studio and you're kind of lip syncing to the song, there's lots of ways that we see artists do this, but anything related to a video is not covered by the mechanical license. So then what you're supposed to do to get what's called a sync license, to sync your song to video, is you're supposed to contact the rights holders, negotiate a price, and it's this whole other step that you're supposed to go through. So some common misconceptions that might come up because a lot of people aren't going to be able to get the sync license, or they don't want to do, that whole process. It's too expensive. They'll say, well, what if I just credit the original artist? If I'm covering Halsey, I say, Halsey, this is her original song. In my description, that should be okay, right? No. Doesn't matter if you credit. And in fact, that kind of just goes to show you knew who the original author was. You knew you were covering their song. You were supposed to get a sync license. And then another assumption might be what's called under fair use. And so A very general kind of way to describe fair use is that under copyright law, there are different ways that we can use other people's copyrighted content so long as it's for certain purposes. For example, this channel is an educational channel. And so a lot of what we do is we will react to other people's videos and content. And because we are teaching something that falls under fair use. And there are other caveats for parodies and commentary. But when it comes to just, we're talking about doing a cover song, fair use is just a defense. And so you're usually having to argue it after you've gotten something like a copyright strike, which we're going to get into next. And another assumption might be, okay, let's talk about monetization. One of the reasons why people do a lot of covers is because they might go viral. And you might get not only a lot of subscribers, but you might get that ad revenue, which is what you call the monetization. So what happens is that some artists might say, well, what if I don't turn on monetization? What if I'm not actually making money off of the video? Is that okay? Again, the answer is no, because you're still getting a benefit. You're still getting subscribers and exposure and free marketing. And so the way that this is going to work, and this is kind of the little caveat of what's happening on YouTube. You're supposed to get a sync license, but if you don't, YouTube has now created this loophole by doing deals directly with record labels. And so record labels come in and they say, okay, if all these artists are going to do cover songs, it's going to get exposure for our artists and these, songs that we are trying to promote. And so we aren't going to file copyright strikes. We're not going to try to get the videos taken down, but we'll do a deal to say we're going to come and collect all of the ad revenue off of those videos. So in a lot of cases, especially with big labels, very popular songs, they have these deals in place. And so it means typically you are either sharing ad revenue with the original rights holder, or they're going to come and take all of the ad revenue. Now, there is always a risk. If, for example, the song that you're covering isn't pursuant to an existing deal that the record label has with YouTube, you could always get a copyright strike. And that's something that I have to really emphasize to my artists through my firm, because I got to just let you know, if you get 3 copyright strikes on YouTube, your entire channel can get deleted. So it is a pretty big deal, and you have to proceed with caution. Now, you might be wondering, well, how does YouTube even know? How do these record labels even know? And it's kind of two-pronged. The first one is record labels will hire teams to go and just do searches. They're trying to find these videos because some of them are either going to come and take that monetization, or they might actually be looking for your video so that they can file a copyright strike, so that they can get it taken down. So just know that record labels are actually paying these teams to go out and to find these videos, whether it has 10 views on it or 10 million views. And the other prong is through YouTube auto-detecting the music, right? So we hear about content ID, and it's kind of like Shazam, right? So YouTube is just going to know based on kind of melodies and lyrics that even though it's a totally different version, that you are covering someone else's song. And so that's why sometimes as soon as you upload the video, you immediately get an email from YouTube saying your video contains copyrighted content. You're now, ad revenue sharing. Don't worry, we're not going to do anything else, but just, kind of FYI. Now, if you are dealing with a copyright strike, or if you do get that copyright strike, I have another video that I've done of how to fight it, when not to fight it, and I'll link that video down in the description below. So basically, here is your quick hit list. Number 1, you make your cover song. Number 2, before you release it on DSPs or digital service providers, you're going to make sure that you get that mechanical license, which you can get through Easy Song Licensing or Harry Fox Agency, or of course, check your distributor because maybe they'll get it for you. Next, if you are going to do a visual, whether you are just singing in your studio, whether you do a full production music video, anytime you're doing an audio visual, you're supposed to get a sync license. And with that sync license, I go into detail of how to get it to contact, through BMI and ASCAP. That is through the video on sampling, which I have already linked down the description for you guys. But if you can't get that sync license, then what you want to do is basically go on YouTube, do a search, and see if you can find videos of other people who have uploaded the same song and if their video is still up. I think that's a pretty big, important step to take. Now, legally, guys, I need to enforce this. you're supposed to get a sync license. Unfortunately, copyright law is really old. It's taking forever to kind of catch up with the times. And so YouTube has created this little caveat where, so long as this is one of the songs that is pursuant to a deal that it has with a record label, you are going to be okay and you're not going to get a copyright strike. But it is still gray area. And that's what I want to emphasize. If you have a big channel and you've built a huge audience and you get a copyright strike, just know 3 strikes and you're out. So you have to be very, very cautious when you are doing cover songs. But the nice thing about this little loophole that YouTube has created is that it is possible even if you aren't able to get a sync license. Guys, there is a lot that goes into having a successful career, and something we talk about on this channel are contracts. I've created a free course for you on understanding contracts, negotiating them like a pro, and I'll be sure to link that down in the description so you can stay legally protected. Be sure to also come say hi on social media. You can catch all the legal stuff at Redhead Attorney, and if you want to check out more of my music stuff, that's at Miss KRYSTLE Live. If you're in the mood for some dark pop music, search Miss KRYSTLE on all music platforms. I'm gonna get out of here, but I'll see you on the next one. I'm top music attorney, Miss KRYSTLE.